Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to talk about if Dungeon Masters should begin to use Disney Lorcana cards as Dungeons & Dragons components in Dungeons & Dragons campaigns. All right, so the answer is yes, but I can understand where that might be confusing to some people because Dungeons & Dragons canon is the most not the most confusing. It is the most complex, farthest out example of modern intellectual property multiverse processing that has ever existed on any product. Okay, so I have a quick acronym. I have a quick mnemonic that helps me understand. And I'll walk you through it. It's funky Lego magic. So basically, why would a dungeon master begin to use Disney Lorcana cards as Dungeons & Dragons components? Well, there's a lot of very sound reasons, and the first and foremost is honoring the work that Disney and Hasbro have done to massively connect both of their worlds narratively. All right. Now, the majority of this work has happened on funky Lego magic. All right, so how have Disney characters, which will be showing up in Disney Lorcana, been connected directly to Dungeons and Dragons characters, and why would those two sets of characters from different worlds be in one multiverse, right? Because the companies have told us they are, right? And they've worked very, very hard to make sure that we understand that these worlds are very connected. All right. So first of all, let's establish one thing. So why would we be using a collectible card game cards as D&D components? Well, because Hasbro established this almost 10 years ago when they made Magic the Gathering canon connected to Dungeons and Dragons. The most clearest example of this is Strixhaven, right? So so I run a Strixhaven campaign, and when I introduce a Lorehold Pledge Mage, I don't say, "Hey, you guys meet a Lorehold Pledge Mage." I just put a Lorehold Pledge Mage card down on the table, exactly the way Hasbro intended, right? Because essentially the Strixhaven Magic the Gathering card set is unbound pages for Dungeons and Dragons. So how do Disney Lorcana cards end up being completely appropriate and actually quite needed in every single Dungeons and Dragons campaign, right? Well, the biggest one is this funky Lego magic. So basically, Disney said, "Hey, our Disney characters are completely connected to Magic the Gathering characters. Look, here's Bluto, right? And here's Dritz Do'Urden. They're both in Funko Pop, right? These have been made to be used as miniatures in your Disney campaign. And every single Funko Pop Disney character is made to scale so that they can logically show up in your Dungeons & Dragons game." You're like, "Well, Scott, is just the Funko Pop connection?" No, not even remotely just the Funko Pop connection. They're saying, no. We want to make sure that you have everything you need to include Disney characters into with your D&D characters. That's why we put all these Disney characters in Lego, which and every Disney character is at perfect scale, and all of this Lego terrain, this Disney Lego terrain, is specifically made to be connected to Lego Dragon's Keep, Journey's End, official D&D characters, minifigs, terrains, all completely scaled, completely ready for use in Dungeons and Dragons. And in case two massive intellectual properties weren't enough, so Funko Pop and Lego, here's Magic the Gathering, right? Where do Disney characters show up in Magic the Gathering? Basically, Magic the Gathering is canon to Dungeons and Dragons. Magic the Gathering did a Fortnite Secret Lair drop. Fortnite, and there's a cube card. It says, "Hey, here's the cube card connecting everything, connecting Fortnite characters over to that existing D&D canon, right? Like, Magic the Gathering canon, and then here's Magic the Gathering canon, and then Fortnite content is connected to that through the Magic the Gathering Fortnite cards. And there are literally hundreds of Disney characters in Fortnite. So Disney and Hasbro are saying these are connected from 3 different multiverses and provisioning you with specific physical Dungeons & Dragons components, right? They've worked very hard. And I think as Dungeon Masters, we should 100% honor that, right? And bring Disney Lorcana cards and start using them immediately in our Dungeons & Dragons campaigns exactly the same way we're using Magic the Gathering cards. And we've been using them as D&D components and using them as unbound pages of D&D rule books for years. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What I'm curious of is what your humble opinion is. I'd love to hear that in the comments below. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.